father. Did we know him? Unanswered Truth. Short story by JameliaAlicia. Sara's dad was seriously ill with cancer and only had a few months to live. Father married another woman a few months before he died on his sickbed. His daughter Sara learned this not from a letter, not from his voice, but from a solicitor who spoke gently, as if softness could blunt truth. The marriage had been witnessed by two of Father's old friends, men Sara recognized from childhood photographs, men who once sat at our kitchen table drinking tea while her father laughed too loudly. They signed their names beside his, confirming that yes, this was his choice. Yes, this was legal. Yes, this was final. They were questioning it, as they had doubt about it all, and could not understand why his daughter and son disinherited. If his new wife died 30 days after his death, they would inherit. There was no inheritance for his children, only a wife we barely knew. In the weeks after the funeral, the story grew legs. Rumors arrived before sympathy cards. He had been married before, more than once, some said. There were other children, siblings we had never met, possibly never known about. A woman called once and hung up without speaking. It was as though death loosened secrets that life had kept tightly knotted. The same question without ever saying it aloud. Did we ever really know him? When Sara thinks of her father, she did not first see the man in the sickbed, being treated at home, thin and whispering, his hand trembling as he signed papers. She sees the man who lifted her onto his shoulders when she was small, who made stories out of nothing, who taught how to ride a bike and how to listen before speaking. Sara's mother and father were never married, but they loved each other in the way people do when they believe time will wait for them. He used to call us his anchors. Growing up, he was present in fragments, weekends, evenings, moments stolen between responsibilities. But when he was there, he was there. He remembered Sara's favorite book. He knew the way Sara's brother went quiet when he was thinking. He sat on the floor with us, not above us. That is the father she knew. Which is why the ending feels so unreal. People say he was manipulated, that the woman with him at the end took advantage of sickness, of fear, of a man staring into the smallness of his remaining time. Others say he knew exactly what he was doing, that time was running out, that erasing us was intentional, a final decision, sharp and deliberate. Both versions stung the most. If he was manipulated, then he was vulnerable and alone in ways we did not see. And if he was not, then he chose a silence that will never be undone. Sara goes back and forth, searching her memories for clues. Was there something she missed? A distance growing? A guilt he never named? Was it deceitfulness of her father? For example, in Sara's memory, she remembers certain clues which show he was not faithful. Such as at a young age on an occasion when she visited her father, seeing a pink dressing gown in the bedroom, laying on the side of the bed. Knowing that dressing gown wasn't her mother's, according to Sara in her mind, he gave an impression he lived alone in his apartment. Sara asked her father, "Is that your dressing gown?" And then he replied, "It is." When she returned home to her mother, she knew that it wasn't her father's dressing gown. Also, Sara's mom taking her to her father's place when he was ill, as Sara has not seen her sick father in a couple of months. Sara's mom decided to surprise her partner that she assumed was still her partner. Then, it turned into a heated argument that made Sara's mom question why did she visit him. In that moment, Sara's father said, "Why did you not let me know that you were coming to visit?" Then Sara's mom replied, "I wanted to surprise you." That's when he didn't want Sara and her mom to stay, as it seemed he wanted both of them out of the apartment. He had something to hide, and he did not want us to know the truth. Sara was only 14 years old age when this all happened to her, and felt quite confused. All along she just assumed that her mom and dad was in a relationship, but they weren't living in the same home as each other. Or was the man who raised us and the man who died simply two truths occupying the same body? When he passed away, everything was gradually revealed that Sara's dad was living a double, treble life. Grief does that. It fractures people into questions. We will never know how many wives there were, how many children share his blood, or what promises he made in rooms we were never invited into. Finding out that Sarah's dad was married at least 3 times. The second wife he married in the same year was the same year Sara was born, which shocked her and made her realize that her father she knew for 14 years. Sara felt deceived. All we have are echoes, laughter, absence, and the heavy quiet after truth arrives too late. As Sara's dad is gone, she has unanswered questions and a void of answers that remain a mystery. However, Sara's love for her father did not leave her and remained in her heart forever. Although Sara was disinherited, but she moved on with her life, remembering her father's love. The one question Sara had on her mind is, did she really know her father? At the funeral, Sara was shocked that the only child mentioned in the eulogy was her brother's name from her father's first marriage. Her name was not included. Looking back, this seems it was done deliberately by his new wife he married on his dying bed. There are many unanswered questions.